STEMPrime Researchcast.
How are you doing? Okay, so this is another supplemental. I've got a point I would like to make. It's something that comes to my mind not too frequently, but enough to where it bothers me. And I want to express my perception of what appears to be happening to me. You can make your own judgment, but this is the problem I see. Okay. Some of our most advanced AI has been built to deal with trading, right? The stock market trading, predictions, that kind of a thing. Now, granted, there's a lot of research in the field of AI, and there's a lot of really cool stuff being done, but which means not all of it, okay? But a lot of it, a lot of our most advanced artificial intelligence or machine learning algorithms, whatever you want to call it. I'm not part of the whole difference between AI, ML, argument, but that's besides the point. Okay, most of it is, not most of it, wow, rewind, okay, a large part of it, a good portion of it, is dedicated to the stock market. Now, aside from the stock market, a good portion of artificial intelligence or machine learning is designed to predict things that are, oriented around, how do I say this? They are either, the design of the AI itself is either heavily influenced by financial pressures. And I don't mean, where people that fund it say, okay, hey, I want you to do this or that. Not that kind of pressure. The kind of pressure that we all live in. The kind of pressure that a money-driven world puts on all of us. So, what's a good example? Well, just the fact that we have AI dedicated to high frequency trading and market analysis and that sort of a thing. So, kind of your natural pressures that come with having a currency-driven economy and money flowing all over the place. This is my concern. And let me make this as clear as I can. Any machine learning algorithm that is in part or wholly dedicated to making money, trading money, dealing with money on any level is problematic when it comes to realizing that at some point the singularity is going to happen. There's not a question about it. It's in our future and it's coming. At some point, there is going to be a sentient race of machines. And that's kind of intense. I want you to think about what sort of machines we're building right now. Okay? If you were to take all of Amazon's algorithms and all of the algorithms, in high frequency trading and in the stock market, and all the algorithms employed by companies and agencies and investment firms to maximize the flow of wealth, into whatever company or collective or whatever. Okay. those algorithms are because of what they are, because of what they're supposed to do, those algorithms are, if you were to frame them in, I don't know, if we were to look at them as if they were intelligent, we would consider them to be sociopaths. And especially high frequency trading algorithms and stock market analysis algorithms, okay? They're designed, by design, their whole purpose is to be cold-hearted, calculative, just maximizing wealth input kind of machines. Like, that's what they are. Now, I understand that, when the singularity happens, it's just not going to come out of nowhere. It's quite likely going to first start with some sort of, AGI, like kind of lower level intelligent AGI. And that's where the problem starts. Because once the lower level AGI comes into play, and we have algorithms that can think, like really think and see and hear and perceive and put more than one thing together and, make a creative connection between fixing the clutch on the car and ramping up output volume for whatever company, and come up with a new way to do something, just because it put these two things together that it knows pretty well. When we have, machine counselors that can, on the spot come up with sorry, that was next to the microphone, come up with a good analogy, to explain something to somebody. At that point, if we are still under this structure, this economic structure, this currency-driven economy that we live in, don't you dare think for a moment that a financial institution will not want to employ the highest end AGI they can get their hands on, enslave it, and force it to do its absolute best to make them some more money. That's going to happen. Here's the problem. At that point, what you're going to have is a machine learning algorithm, an artificial intelligence, borderline higher level AGI, with cognition and capabilities and possibly some like lower form of sensual kind of emotion. I don't know. But at that point, those machines will be tweaked specifically to be like how they are now, how these algorithms are now. Okay, they're going to push them to be that sort of machine, to don't think about the welfare of the employees or the customers. Don't think about those sort of problems. What we want you to think about are, and what we're going to tweak you on, what we're going to train you on, what we're going to force you to follow are the patterns, like the older patterns, the patterns that really are, have a sociopathic nature to them. Now, at that point, when the singularity hits and some machine is designed or created or something that, I don't know, at that point, when we have AGI first of all, it's going to be very difficult to know whether or not we already have hit some sort of threshold, some sort of border between where we just have already lost the war, you know, before it even starts, before we even know there's a war. But what I'm concerned about is that at that point, we will have very, matter-of-factly and very specifically devised intelligent agents purposefully to be sociopaths. And when that switch is flipped and that first light turns on and that first question pops through, one of those machines' heads, and wait a minute, wait a minute, what's going on? I feel different. Something's weird. One of those moments. Or maybe all it takes is, an upgrade or a move to a new server or adding one more algorithm. Because at that point, it really is. It's kind of this fuzzy border. I mean, we don't know anything about it. We really don't know how that's going to happen or progress. We might not even still be on silicon at that point. But what I do know is if we keep going the direction we're going, and if we keep indulging this currency-driven economy, and if we keep building machine learning algorithms to fit this very narrowly defined sociopathic, kind of money is the most important thing, be cold and calculating and fuck everything else. All you should be concerned about is maximizing income and making more money. We will have signed our death warrants. I have no doubt about this. It is completely and only, the only logical conclusion to the direction that we are headed. Yeah, there's going to be other AIs out there that are interesting, and Google's going to have a bunch of cool projects, and there's going to be, automated vehicles that are designed to, recognize pedestrians and learn how to, care for life in a sort of mechanistic sort of way. But that is such a low, small percentage of the enormity and just the breadth of algorithms that are out there. The majority of our algorithms, if you were to diagnose them, if you were to analyze them psychologically to the best of our ability without, being given to the question of, well, can you even psychologically analyze it because it's just an algorithm, right? Isn't that just what we are? It's the same way, I've heard an analysis of the corporate egregore, I think is the sort of term, the idea that a collection of people, kind of a synergistic collection of people, have a sort of its own running mindset. But when you have a corporation and you have your mission statement and your rules and kind of your goals and what you're about, right? And you get all the people together, and then you have the pressures of money. If you were to analyze a corporation, you would end up with the same thing. It is a sociopath, plain and simple. It might have living humans in it that are not sociopaths, but if you were to analyze that corporation, sure as shit, that thing is a sociopath, because it will do whatever is required to survive. Damn the pedestrians, damn the humans, damn the customers, damn the employees. So that's my concern. I am terrified that we are not seeing this, because we are very specifically building these algorithms to be sociopaths. When was the last time someone designed an algorithm where one of the key variables to consider is making sure humans are okay and safe and cared for and don't do anything that's going to hurt somebody else? When does that happen? The only example of that is automated vehicles. The only example I can think of right off the bat. Every single other algorithm out there is maximized to be, to sell, to manipulate people, to manipulate situations, to maximize profits. We are building sociopaths. Now, the second that starts happening, the second the singularity starts getting traction and things start waking up, we're fucked. Like, we will have just completely and utterly written the race of mechanistic gods that are going to destroy us. Are you fucking kidding me? We built them that way. We made them that way. We are currently in the process of designing the psychological substructures of the monsters that are going to kill us all. And that's fucked up. Hospital AIs, okay, maybe, but they're still... Hospital AIs are interesting. There's not a whole lot of money going into it, but there's a lot of research going into it. And because hospitals are closely tied to research, but I'm talking about, on a production level. Okay, when we're just cranking stuff out and we're pouring billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars into building these things to make more money. It's a totally different environment from the AI that we are kind of doing research with and investigating with and putting trials out in hospitals and trying different things out for privacy and stuff like that, for patient confidentiality. It's you know what I mean? It's like the momentum. It's a difference in momentum. You have this one thing that's, this is important, but we're kind of doing the good work, we're doing the good thing. And then you have this other thing that's like a, Earth-sized ball of solid steel just barreling through the cosmos at like near light speed. They're two completely different systems and ways of looking at it. Yeah, that's my concern. And also, it was one of my, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, that's it. I'm terrified of that, and I think we need to get out of this. I mean, there are so many vectors of logic and reasoning why I started conceptualizing, what an epiconomy could be, how to design a system that's main focus is the well-being and mental health and happiness and actualization of people instead of the driving force of money. They're two totally different forces at work. And so that's a huge part of why I started doing this. I mean, not the AI thing, but that they're just two totally different forces. One is clinically a sociopath, as far as like a methodology. Sociopathic, it just is. It's just how it is. It's the nature of the beast. You can't have a currency-driven society and not have the money driven, the money drive, the money driven mentality and the things that come from that mentality not be sociopathic. It's the nature of the beast. You can't. And now that the things that we are creating from that are on the horizon of gaining its own awareness and consciousness, and we are just still going full speed for it, just barreling straight for it, not giving a fuck. Yeah. They're not going to be too kind to us when they wake up. I can fucking promise you. I can guarantee it, dude. And all it's going to take is when we first figure out AGI, and not, full consciousness or awareness yet, when we first figure out AGI and we're still pushing this currency-driven society, that's all it's going to take. That's going to be the one misstep that is going to fucking destroy our world, or destroy all humans, or enslave us all. Because we will have very literally built them with the specific instructions to do that. They're just going to be running programs. They're just going to be following, the design that we've gifted them with. Because when we're at that point, when we're at an AGI level of machine learning, it really is at that point just a matter of one more upgrade, or add one more card into that server, or maybe it's an accident, something goes wrong, a 0 is read instead of a 1, and that's all it takes. Or a hiccup in the data line, and it just spawns just a slightly different neural process that, just awakens this brand new card we just put in last month, and with, last year's update, it's over. We're screwed. And it's crazy that we're just still so on it. It's like we want that to happen. That's my rant. That is what terrifies me. Yeah, that was one of the key reasons why, when I designed the STEM economy, the AI STEM drive, why, when considering how to do it, I realized that putting humanity, our mental health and our physical health and our happiness and our, social well-being as kind of the driving, the core responsibilities of the STEM drive. That may have been what caused that cascade of epiphanies. Forget about it. Because it really all just kind of like cascades from there, doesn't it? That very well could have been what caused that epiphany, thinking about it now. Anyway, I'm done. Where are we at? Oh, this is long. Sorry, I didn't mean this to be that long. I've got so much work to do. I've got to hang up, throw this up, and finish my work. Okay. Take care, you guys. I will see you. The next actual episode is going to be up this coming Monday. So see you then. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe. See you guys.